This is my fully electric 2021 Kia Niro, and over the next few weeks I'll be driving it on a full lap of Australia, passing through some very remote places. The charging won't always be easy, but it should be one incredible journey.
Oh my god!
It is a very nice place in the light of day. I'm still very sweaty though, but I've pretty much packed up all the car and it's really time to get going for the day. I did have the air conditioner on overnight last night because it was still a bit hot. It was cooler than I expected actually. It wasn't too bad outside, but it was a bit hot for sleeping. I had the air conditioner on sort of as minimal as I comfortably could. If we just wait for this to let me in, confirm. I'll pull up the EV stuff. The car's on 42%. It was on 50 something last night, so it hasn't really drained that much. And the next charger is only 9 kilometers away, so perfectly fine. Still estimating 135 on the dashboard. I think we've still got the stats from now the past 2 days because I've left the car on all night for those 2 days, but that's fine. But yeah, I had the temperature set to 22 or something and the fan on the lowest speed, so it wasn't really doing much. But it was just enough to keep it cool and hopefully not drain too much of the battery, which it didn't. So we're all good on that front. But there is another rather big day of driving ahead. So without wasting any more time, we should head off. I am at a cave tours place. I might stop at the office on the way out and just see about the cave tours. How are they doing one quite soon, and if it doesn't take too long. So I might waste a little bit of time there, but apart from that I want to hit the road. Go, first charge of the morning. We're only on 38%, but we'll top it right up. I've just been for a walk. It's about a kilometre to the sort of rest area lookout. There's toilets, picnic tables. You're allowed to park a caravan there overnight. And there's really quite a nice view. So that's all good, but it is quite a walk in 32 degrees and humidity with the sun beating down on you. I'm not feeling too good again. But I've charged up to 97% so far. And that was on purpose, because this morning is going to be a bit challenging. So, the next charging stop would naturally be in Halls Creek, which I'll pull up distance to that. Halls Creek is 192 kilometres away, so a fairly sort of standard stretch from one charger to the next. But Halls Creek, the DC charger is down, 0 of 2 available. The AC charger is working, but I wouldn't even get 22 kilowatts on that. I'd get 7 kilowatts because my car can only do single phase AC charging. And as we can see here, all stations broken. DC charger is still not working due to vandalism over 25 weeks ago, and that was posted on the 19th of January. So they're very much taking their sweet time fixing it. It's very annoying that they keep getting vandalised, but I think they could be a bit faster with the repairs. There's actually a message now in the ChargeFox app. Station has been re-vandalised after attempted repairs. Additional parts are required and anti-vandalism measures to be implemented shortly. So that's completely out of order. According to the app, there's just no chance of getting that to work, because I was thinking the screen's completely smashed, but maybe I could activate it in the app. But no, they've taken the button away. That's just completely out of order. So that's quite annoying. I also find it annoying when it says additional parts are required. I feel like they should have a warehouse somewhere with just all the additional parts ready to go. They shouldn't be waiting to order them in from somewhere. But anyway, so the only option in Halls Creek would be to use the AC charger, the slower charger. And I mean, there's also 2 other options of the same speed, slower charger there, but nothing great. So charging there would be slow. And then beyond that, there's also a few other slow chargers. The next DC charger would be at Warman Roadhouse. And this seems to be in perfectly good working order. Actually doesn't show availability, but I think the ones at roadhouses are a bit safer. It's when they're in the middle of towns they seem to be more vandalised. So I think that one would be fine. But when we go directions here, that's 354 kilometres away. I've charged up to 98% now, and the car's estimating 326. So that would be a very, very long stretch. So I think my only option is to go to 100% here, then stop in Halls Creek and plug into the slow charger and just trickle in maybe an hour and a half of extra charging or something to just make it to this next actually working DC charger. It's a very annoying situation, but hopefully I can make it work. And I do also have something I can try to do in Halls Creek. As you may remember, I bought this in cans yesterday to store the footage on, but what I didn't think through is it has only a USB-A connector, and my computer only has USB-C ports, and I thought I probably brought an adapter, but I can't find it anywhere in the car, so I need a USB-C to USB-A adapter. I don't know if that's too much to ask for Halls Creek, but I'll have a walk around town while the car's slowly charging and see what I can do. So we're on 98% now, and the car's actually still getting 10 kilowatts, and it would get a maximum of 7 on the AC charger, so there's actually no point in me unplugging yet. So yeah, it's on 99%. I guess I'll go fully to 100 here, then unplug. It says it'll take another 7 minutes. That would make the most sense. I assumed it would taper below 7 kilowatts while charging to 100, so I assumed there'd be some point where it would actually make more sense to unplug and go to the slower charger, but I guess not. I've still got 10 kilowatts going in now. So that is the plan. This station has been very good. It's the solar battery and diesel backup setup that we've used a few times now. It's been working full speed until the car tapered, obviously. I've never seen or heard the diesel generator kick on, and it's been fairly early in the morning with some cloud cover, but I imagine the batteries here were fully charged, and I think the batteries hold more than my car's battery can hold, so even in the dark I could probably get a full charge without the generator on, would be my guess. And now that we're down to 10 kilowatts and the sun's come out a bit more, it's only 8:44 still, but the panels are in full sun. I think the panels might almost be generating enough to power 10 kilowatts really. So the batteries might not even be being used anymore. But it's really been all good here. Just a real shame about the Halls Creek charger. Down to 9 kilowatts now actually. Still more than I'd get from a slow charger. So I'll wait a little bit longer. Got 192 kilometres to Halls Creek. Oh, car just finished charging. I had definitely better go and unplug. Coming into Halls Creek now. Still got estimated 150 kilometres of range, so not doing too badly. But I'm fairly certain the DC charger here is not going to work. So I want all the range I can get. I've actually done this entire stretch at 100 kilometres an hour instead of 110. I don't want to be sort of in the way of anyone, but literally no one's come up behind me. There's not much traffic around here at all, so that's been perfectly fine. And we're now 4 kilometres out from the charger, where I guess I'll have to leave it on the slow charger for a while. And I'm even a bit apprehensive about that, but it's kind of the only option. It's 36 degrees, so a fair bit of power has gone to the air conditioning. Only 5% of the power we've used for this stretch. Yes, I would say so. It's gone to the air conditioning and we're coming down to 80 now, so that'll help. So yeah, not too bad on the air conditioning. I've had it turned down fairly low, but enough to keep me cool enough. The sun's been coming right in the windscreen as well. It keeps heating up the cameras and everything. And I worry I'm almost getting sunburned through the windscreen. I've had this bag sitting on me at times, but I think there's some form of UV treatment on it. I'm just not sure how much there is. It's free Wi-Fi in Halls Creek apparently. 50 feels really slow now. But I'm going to quite diligently do 50 because that should help with the efficiency a bit. Oh yes, I can see it. the DC charger's completely boarded up, so I'll just be plugging into the AC charger. The AC charger's really not looking too good either, but it shows online in the ChargeFox app. Plugged into the AC charger, RFID reader still works fine. You can't see the screen but on the charger, but you just tap the card, it works. Pulling 7.6 kilowatts from the AC charger at 47% state of charge, and that's like the absolute maximum power my car could get from an AC charger. In fact, that means there's pretty good voltage here, which is good because it's a maximum of 32 amp single phase in my car and meant to be about 240 volts, but fluctuates between 230 to 250-ish, so the higher the voltage, the better the charging rate will be. I think based on the heat, I probably need to leave the air conditioner on, which is going to suck a bit of the power. But there's stuff in here that I just don't want to roast, including the fridge. But I will go on a bit of a mission to find not only a toilet, but also a shop that has any chance of selling a USB-C to USB-A adapter. And I'll let it charge a fair bit here and work out how much I actually need. The camera's overheating just sitting there, so that's nice. I probably don't have too long to explain, but 180 kilometers of estimated range now, and there's a fly in here. I failed to get a adapter. I didn't have one. I asked it sort of oh my god, it's already gone. I asked it sort of the everything shop in town, and apparently they had one, but they sold it. They're out of stock on it. Now I'm dropping my phone and turning my phone off. It's too hot here. I've got the air conditioner going at a lowish rate, and that's probably sucking some of the AC power, but anyway. We've been here an hour and 12 minutes, added 9 kilowatt hours, and it's actually been charging very well. It's 7.6 kilowatts, so it's not too bad, but I definitely want to keep moving. We're on 56% now. The car's estimating 181 kilometers of range, and there's 163 kilometers to the roadhouse with the DC charger, hopefully working DC charger. So I think if I'm very conservative, I can probably make it. I mean, the car's thinking I can make it, so I just have to make sure I don't use any extra buffer, which I can probably do. Just keep the speed low, keep the temperature fairly warm. I can probably make it, so I think I will unplug now and head on. I'd like to add a bit more, but I'm getting a bit pushed for time. I want to make it beyond Catherine today. I might even show you the plug share map. The Warmun Roadhouse is where we're going to. That's meant to have a working DC charger. That's there. Then from there we'll head on to Kununurra. Sorry, I meant Kununurra when I was saying that before. There's a working charger in Kununurra, so that should all be fine. And while I'm charging, I might try and buy an adapter there. And of course, now that I'm filming the video, nothing's going to load. There we go. There's no DC chargers between Kununurra and Catherine, because I've been using the WA EV network. The Northern Territory doesn't really have a similar network, so it's only a few chargers in places. So I need to stop at either Timber Creek or this one, Victoria River Roadhouse. Timber Creek seems the most doable because it's closest to me, and I need to charge there overnight with a powered site in order to make it to Catherine the next morning. So I need to make it there before that place closes, which might be pushing it a bit, but I kind of have to do it. Otherwise I'll end up being a day behind, really, because I'll have to stay there tomorrow night. So that's what I want to do. Make it all the way there. And that's 412 kilometers as the crow flies, but it's quite a curved road, so it's 500 and something actually driving. So it's a fair bit more to do, and it's 12:21, and I think there's a time change not in my favour. So I definitely want to get going from here. We're at 182 now, so 63 to 60, 70, 80. That gives us a 183. That gives us a 20 kilometre buffer. So I'll just really stretch that out, I guess, and head off. Have to turn the car off to unlock the car to unlock the plug. $3.39 that cost. Camera's just overheated. Not the one I'm talking to you on, the one filming out the windscreen has overheated for the I've lost count times for this stretch of the drive, but it's actually gone pretty well range-wise. 6 minutes out from the charger now, 6.7 kilometres to go. The car's still showing an estimated 37 kilometres of range, and it's currently on 10%. And I actually haven't had to be too conservative with the speed. I started off doing 90 for quite a while actually, because I was scared. So I was going on quite slowly for a while and took the 20 kilometre buffer to a 30-ish kilometre buffer. And that's sort of where it sat for quite a while. Then I noticed a truck was starting to get closer to me in the rearview mirror. So at that point I had quite a good buffer. I was going on quite well, so I actually put the speed up to like 105 and cruised at that for really most of the drive, and the buffer sort of held itself okay. So it really hasn't been too bad speed-wise or anything like that. And yeah, there's still going to be about a 30 kilometre buffer when I get there. So it's actually all been very good. It's also been very sort of more mountainous and hilly, windier roads. I'm not sure if that would be making any difference to the efficiency, but it's just something I've noticed having to drive a bit more actively, and it's been very good scenery actually. Apparently this is driving through the Bungle ranges, so it's quite nice. Might have been nice to stop somewhere here and fly the drone, but I really just want to make it to this next DC charger. So hopefully there's still similar scenery on the other side of it, and maybe I'll stop there at some point. And apart from that, all good. 4 more minutes to go. Going down to a 70. So I've made it with 30, exactly 30 kilometres to spare. It's saying 32 now, and there's 2 more kilometres to go. So it's really stayed pretty good. And then we'll do a top up here and make it to Kununurra. Very scenic as well. The drive was starting to get a bit more boring this morning, but yeah, the last hour or two has been very nice. So I thought it was just a roadhouse, but there seems to be a sort of a small town. Of a driveway. And we have an intact screen, which is lovely to see. I thought it was going to be like a standalone 50 kilowatt. I think it's one of the more grid connected 150 kilowatt ones, which is really more like 70 on this car. But I shall plug in. That doesn't look great, but I've experienced that before. Plugged in. Got to get the authentication going. Authenticated, preparing. Plugged in with 9%. How many tries do you think? Nope. Hold the plug steady. Same routine. Not to jinx it, but I think this will probably start now. Yes, there we go. Cloud out there, the truck running. We are ramping up now, plugged in with 9%. I'm going to run into the roadhouse to use their toilet, and I'll see you in a bit. Charging's been going pretty well here. It's tapered right down now, actually, but it was getting full power for a while, and the car is now estimating 248 kilometres of range. It's only 196 to Kununurra, so I think we're good to unplug and set off as soon as I'm ready with the camera. Turning off to Molly Springs because I've actually decided there's no way I'm going to make it to the I can't remember the name of it, but the roadhouse beyond Kununurra that I wanted to make it to. It's just going to be too late, especially because they're in the Northern Territory, so it's actually in Adelaide's time zone, which is an hour and a half ahead of here. So I'm probably going to be spending the night in Kununurra or near it. So I might as well take this brief detour because it's 4:55 p.m. here right now, and that means in the Northern Territory it's so basically 5 here, so it'd be 3:30. No, I'm going the wrong way. It would be Oh my god, this is... I don't think I can do that. Fine with dirt roads, but some of their dirt roads are more like four-wheel drive tracks. Am I being stupid? The camera's gone flat, so you can't see anything, but I'm currently trying to turn around on this tiny little track because there's just no way I'm going to end up damaging the car. If I continue like that, they should have a sign. The camera's finally back. Had nightmares trying to get it to charge. Ooh. While trying to get back along this four-wheel drive track. Yeah, it has nothing says it may not be suitable for road vehicles. Anyway, we're back on the road 21 minutes from Kununurra. So I almost ended up sleeping on the side of the road. I always leave everything too late. I forget how quickly everything just sort of shuts down here. But I made it to Kununurra and I plugged in for a bit, as you probably saw. But then I quickly started looking for somewhere to stay for the night because I hadn't done that. And I just pulled up a caravan park and drove there, and that was all shut. So then I quite panicked, and sitting in that car park, I called another caravan park, and the guy answered, and he said I can come in and pay in the morning. So that's where I'm at. That's why I didn't film anything at the last charging station. I sort of realised it's getting dark. I probably need to be getting a move on. And yes, if I haven't mentioned already, I'm not going to make it to the roadhouse where I needed to be tonight in order to make it to Catherine. So I'm just kind of going to have to spend tomorrow morning hanging around here anyway. There's a few sightseeing things I could do. And then I'll drive about 2 hours to that roadhouse and spend the night there with a powered site to get enough charge to make it onto Catherine. And then the day after that, I should hopefully make it to Darwin. but we'll see how it all turns out. For now, I'm just happy I managed to get a site, and it is powered, which is wonderful. I charged up the car a bit on the fast charger, but it says 133 kilometres of range now, so I can do with a fair bit more. Caravan park, tourists welcome. It's a bit of a relief. Got a powered site, not many people around, nice palm trees. I'll set up camp and go to bed, and that might be the end of today's video, seeing as you can't really see me. There we go. Good night.